In this video, I will be talking about Tory Lane and the new evidence that has came out, and I want to watch this video with you.
As Tory Lanez recovers in a hospital after a prison stabbing attack, his father and supporters gathered today to demand his release.
Former rapper was convicted of shooting Megan the Stallion. Fox 7's Christy Fajardo tells us about the claim of new evidence.
Bringing it to light now was made necessary by the events of this week.
Just days after rapper Tory Lanez, also known as Daystar Peterson, was attacked in prison, his attorneys are calling on Governor Newsom to pardon or commute his sentence, insisting they have new evidence Lanez didn't shoot superstar Megan Thee Stallion, but it was instead her former best friend, Kelsey Harris. And they say Harris's one-time bodyguard, Bradley James, was spurred by conscience to come forward.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Walter Roberts says the statement aligns with another witness who saw 2 women fighting. Lanez is serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted of shooting Stallion in the Hollywood Hills back in 2020. The singer testified against Lane and in an op-ed wrote, quote, "Even as a victim, I have been met with skepticism and judgment. We didn't hear back from Stallion's attorney and couldn't reach Harris for comment. Lanez's lawyers say they've had the new evidence for months and were waiting on the appeals court to rule, but went public after he was stabbed in prison."
He was stabbed 14 times.
The rapper's father, Sunstar Peterson, says his son is recovering remarkably well, but recounted the story Lanez told him.
And I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last. And having made my peace with God, I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end for me?" And God said no. God told him, "Do not give up."
The family and legal team insist Lanez was never given a fair trial, raising questions about the prosecution and investigation, but now say Lanez can't wait for the appellate process to play out. In downtown LA, Christy Fajardo, Fox 11 News.
So you can see in that video, according to the bodyguard, Tory Lane did not do anything. He did not shoot Meg the Stallion. Kelsey actually did. So this man, according to the information from the bodyguard, was sentenced to 10 years of his life in prison for nothing. While in prison, he was stabbed, I think his father said 14 times. This man could have lost his life behind something that he did not do. 2 years ago, I did a video about this situation. What I want to share with you is what I wrote in response to something that someone wrote in my comments. Let me just read that to you. Her lying, being a bad friend, sleeping with her friend's guy, regardless of opinion, isn't a crime. Shooting someone is. My response: I don't agree with violence. What happened that night, I don't know because I was not there. But I will not blindly support someone. I will not blindly support anyone, male or female, whose character comes into question as being a liar and someone that betrayed her friend. To me, that comes off as a person that can't be trusted. When you are under oath in a court of law, lying is a crime. It's a fact that many men throughout history has been lied on who have ended up dead or in jail. A person's character is important in public opinion and the court of law. Your character is the representation of you as a person. And I still agree with everything I wrote in that comment. When Meg initially was going around with interviews as well as in the court, she would just constantly lie. She would constantly change her story. Depending on the person she was speaking to, her story would constantly change. So once she got in court and she continued to have that same energy of lying, everything at that point within the court should have been based on facts, based on hard evidence, because she was a person that showed herself as a liar, as someone that cannot be trusted. And that's how she should have been addressed in court. If they did that, we would not be here today. Tory Lanez would not be in prison for 10 years. and he would have not been stabbed. So it is important, regardless of who the person is, if their character is showing that you cannot trust them, then you need to handle them. And this is just a lesson that you can learn from this. If a person is constantly lying, you can't trust them. So when you deal with that person, you need to deal with them with as much evidence, as much proof, as much truth as you can, and just don't go by what they're saying. You have to check and double check whatever they say to you, because they're showing themselves as a known liar. And so that's what Meg the Stallion did. And so, to anybody who has a friend, young women, if your friend is showing themselves as your competition instead of your friend, you need to question whether you need to remain friends with them. If everything they're trying to one up you, or they're trying to be better than you, or they're constantly going behind you, if you dump a boyfriend, now they're dating that boyfriend, or they're talking to that person, if they're doing anything shady, you truly need to question yourself if that person is a friend or not. And you need to question whether you need to remain with them. Because if you think about it, if you had a child and your child was constantly lying, how would that make you feel? That would not make you feel good, because you feel like, I can't trust them. I can't trust what they say. Would you want to go into business with a person that is constantly lying? Would you want to marry someone that is constantly lying? A liar shows themselves as being untrustworthy. And then when you're dealing with a person that you can't trust, it can end up getting you into trouble. So you have to be aware of who you have in your circle, who you have around you. You want to have people that you can trust. You want to have people that understand a friendship is two-way. A friendship is not just one direction. You're putting in all the energy, all the efforts. It has to be a two-way street. You have to be a person that can be trusted and is trustworthy, and you have to surround yourself with people with the same energy that can be trusted and that are trustworthy. So I just want to share that with you. My name is Delmarshae. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.